We are going to begin this morning in the UK, where President Trump's historic second state visit turns from pomp to now politics.
The president parted ways with King Charles earlier following a royal reception at Windsor Castle.
This is truly one of the highest honors of my life.
Allow me to propose a toast to President Trump and the First Lady, and to the health, prosperity and happiness of the people of the United States.
Beyond the castle walls, President Trump received a less warm welcome from thousands of protesters. He'll now get down to the business of diplomacy and trade with Prime Minister Keir Starmer. NBC's Alice Barr joins us now. How did the royal family send off America's first family this morning?
Good morning. Well, there was a ceremonial sort of send-off at Windsor Castle. There were some final photographs of President Trump, the First Lady, the King and the Queen, and there was an elongated handshake and goodbye just outside Windsor Castle between the President and the King. And there's no question that all of the day's splendor, all of the royal reception that we saw yesterday at Windsor Castle was really about setting the tone for today and making sure that the important work, the pressing issues that are going to come up in this meeting with Prime Minister Keir Starmer, that those get off on the right foot. And it does seem clear that that happened, that the royals kind of served their duty in this sense in setting President Trump up in that way. You heard him say there that having this second state visit to the UK is one of the highest honors of his life. And it was clear throughout the day, the carriage rides, the military processions, the flyovers, all of that, that was certainly having a very positive effect on the president and setting him up for what today will be a day of business.
Well, yesterday's speeches, they're really about ceremony, mostly avoided politics, as we mentioned, but there was a small mention of Ukraine. What message was King Charles sending ahead of the president's visit with Keir Starmer?
That was significant, and we heard it at the royal banquet last night. The king spoke about the long ties, of course, between the United States and the United Kingdom, and about how, this alliance has been through so much together, World War II. And he spoke about how, once again, Europe is at threat from tyranny, and that it is necessary to have Europe and its allies. And there he looked very significantly at President Trump. The president looked back up at him and nodded, in order to stand together in support of Ukraine, against authoritarianism, and for peace. And so it was a relatively brief mention, but certainly something very impactful. And again, the kind of thing that it seems clear the royal family was designed to do, to say, remember, we are great friends. We have this long history. We're rolling out the red carpet for you. And now with sort of a gentle nudge, here's something quite important to us to maybe think about when you're meeting with the Prime Minister.
And Alice, real quick, what other topics will they navigate today?
Yeah, navigate is the right word. There is going to be a press conference a little bit later today, and among the issues, there'll be Ukraine discussed, I'm sure, but also the war in Gaza. And there's a fairly substantial divide, because UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is preparing to recognize a Palestinian state very shortly after President Trump departs the UK, and that is something that the president pretty strongly is opposed to. So there are likely to be some questions on that to potentially be navigated. There are also questions likely to come up about Jeffrey Epstein, which is that scandal has now reared its head on this side of the Atlantic as well, with that issue involving the British ambassador to the U.S. So a couple of tricky questions, again, in the much more thorny political nature of what we're seeing today after the sort of gloss of the royal visit.
All right, Alice Barr, thank you so much.
Well, a pivotal week for the CDC continues today as the agency's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices is set to vote on several key vaccines. On Capitol Hill yesterday, the former CDC director, Susan Menares, testified before a Senate committee about her firing from the nation's top health agency after a very brief tenure as its leader. She expressed her concern about the direction Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wanted to take to the CDC. NBC News correspondent Ann Thompson has the details.
I believe preventable diseases will return, and I believe that we will have our children harmed for things that we know they do not need to be harmed by. Polio, measles, diphtheria, whooping cough.
The stakes laid bare by fired CDC Director Dr. Susan Menares over the future of the nation's vaccine policy. In August, 29 days after he called her scientific credentials unimpeachable, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. dismissed his handpicked Senate-confirmed choice over vaccines.
He just wanted blanket approval.
Okay.
And if I could not commit to approval of each and every one of the recommendations that would be forthcoming, I needed to resign.
Menarez told the Senate committee she refused to pre-approve the decisions of a vaccine advisory panel without science or data. Several new members of that committee, selected by Kennedy, share his vaccine skepticism.
I was fired for holding the line on scientific integrity, but that line does not disappear with me.
2 weeks ago, Kennedy told another Senate committee Menarez lied about her firing.
Medicaid will tell the head of the CDC that if she refused to sign off on your changes to the childhood vaccine schedule, that she had to resign?
No, I told her that she had to resign because I asked her, are you a trustworthy person? And she said no.
Menarez also said Kennedy disparaged the nation's top health agency.
He called CDC the most corrupt federal agency in the world, emphasized that CD employees were horrible people. He said that CDC employees were killing children and they don't care. He said during the COVID outbreak, CDC told hospitals to turn away sick COVID patients until they had blue lips before allowing them to get treatment.
Menarez said Kennedy's assertions are not true. Some committee Republicans zeroed in on the COVID vaccine.
Does the COVID vaccine reduce hospitalization for children under 18?
It can.
It doesn't.
Doctor and committee chairman Bill Cassidy wants to hear from Kennedy himself.
I think Secretary Kennedy has to come and address this specifically.
Our thanks to Ann Thompson for that report. Now, there's no word on when Secretary Kennedy would potentially appear before the Senate committee again. During her testimony yesterday, Menarez said she was nervous about today's vaccine advisory panel. Let's now bring in NBC News medical contributor, our friend Dr. Kavita Patel. Dr. Patel, always great to have you with us. So let's start right there with that meeting of the CDC vaccine panel and just determining exactly what it was that they might do. I mean, 12 members were appointed by Secretary Kennedy. They're expected to review, vote on shots. This is for things measles, COVID, hepatitis B. What can we expect over these next couple days? And tell us a little bit about how this whole panel works.
Yeah, good morning, Savannah. Joe, this is going to be a packed 2 days of meetings. We have from the agenda, we do, as you mentioned, we noticed that COVID vaccines, highly likely that we're going to see data, although it hasn't been posted yet, but it's likely we'll see data that could limit access, further access to the COVID vaccine. Remember, the FDA has already changed the label and said that basically 65 and older may get it, but under 65 only with certain chronic risk conditions. Second up on the agenda is the hepatitis B vaccine. This is a viral infection that attacks the liver and it cannot be cured. It affects 300 million people globally, and it's more transmissible than HIV and actually capable of kind of masking itself from the immune system. It can stay hidden in the body for years. This is why we recommend a series of shots shortly at birth, because if children and infants get infected, it can lead to chronic liver disease. But there is likely to be a change, as you heard from that exchange, from Rand Paul, the senator, as well as from the Secretary Kennedy kind of exchange with Dr. Menarez. Third is up on the docket is the measles, mumps, rubella, varicella, or otherwise known as chickenpox vaccine, and that might get recommended to be split apart. We already did see data from that previously replaced CDC committee earlier this year that actually made a recommendation to change that schedule. So big shakeups to the children's vaccine schedule are highly likely after these 2 days.
I want to ask you a little more about this, specifically one vaccine you mentioned, because during yesterday's Senate committee hearing, lawmakers also heard from Dr. Deborah Howry. She's the CDC's former chief medical officer. She was sitting next to Dr. Menarez. She said she expects the committee is going to recommend delaying the hepatitis B shot in children till the age of 4. With that, what are some of the concerns surrounding it, pushing back a vaccine that children do typically get shortly after they're born?
Yeah, let me offer why this is coming into question. First of all, there was some exchange, but for those who couldn't follow it, basically the question is that unless the mother is hepatitis B positive, there's an argument that some have made to delay the vaccine. As I mentioned, it's given at birth and shortly after birth in a series of shots to delay the vaccine for this infection, because the the infection is primarily spread by sexual activity and intravenous drug use. That's some of the statements made by the committee chair, Dr. Martin Kulldorff, who said this in June this year. I think what's really at issue here is, well, one, that's not true. It's actually a very easy virus to give and get if a family member or someone else has it, and it can even be left on a desk, for example, and even by contact, and an infant can get it that way. So obviously infants do not need to engage in sexual activity and IV drug use, And again, infection in those first few months of birth can lead to chronic liver disease because the virus can stay hidden in the body for years. And we now have literally about 40 years of data on just safety and side effects. So I'm going to be very interested in understanding what are the risks of giving this at birth? Why should we delay something that could cause chronic liver disease and stay hidden in the body?
For anyone also who has a young child, is hearing this, parents, like, this is confusing, this is worrisome. I mean, what should they know about getting their child vaccinated as we potentially get new recommendations, but then there's this current guidance right now?
Yeah, I agree. So what we have today is still kind of standard recommendations for not just children's vaccine schedules, but as I just mentioned, we do have kind of these revised COVID vaccine access rules that are in place. However, we have talked about this. States across the country are basically kind of preempting what you would call those recommendations and saying, if anybody wants to come and get the COVID vaccine, a pharmacist can give this to you. So there have been a lot of different patchwork things, but as we've talked about, Savannah and Joe, the virus knows no state boundaries. So it is very confusing, but I would say that out of today's and tomorrow's meeting, there could be changes in access for what you could get as a parent for free. A Vaccine for Children's program follows the ACIP guidelines. Insurance companies generally have to follow the ACIP guidelines, but most insurers have put out a statement saying that they are going to follow the science, which leads me to believe that access will still be the same. Bottom line, lots of calls into our primary care clinics and into our pediatricians' offices because of the confusion.
Dr. Kavita Patel, important information. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And a move that is sending shockwaves through the world of television and, quite frankly, comedy, Disney's ABC network says it is pulling Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely. The decision came after the head of the FCC criticized Kimmel for controversial comments he made about conservative activist Charlie Kirk, who was killed last week.
During his monologue on Monday, the late-night host criticized the reaction of Republicans to Kirk's killing. The decision to pull the show is sparking condemnation among free speech advocates who say the move is a form of censorship. Let's take a listen to what Kimmel said that day.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz joins us now from outside Jimmy Kimmel's studio in Hollywood with more. So, Liz, just walk us through how this is all unfolded and what ABC is saying. How much of a role did that criticism from the FCC chair play in all this?
Well, hey, guys, I mean, that's certainly the big question, and many people do believe that it was that direct pressure and remarks from the FCC chairman yesterday that then led to Disney making this decision. Disney has not commented or explained their decision beyond putting a statement out saying that they are suspending Jimmy Kimmel's show indefinitely, and they haven't said when they plan to put the show back on the air. But those comments you just played, that was from Monday night's broadcast, his show then, and then immediately it sparked criticism among conservatives. Yesterday, it was the chairman of the FCC who went on a podcast and basically said that broadcasters like Disney, ABC have responsibility to monitor what's on their airwaves, and said that Disney should take some kind of action or there are paths for the FCC. Right after those comments, not long after, Nexstar, which is the company that owns some of the most local affiliated stations in the country, came out and they said that they would be suspending airing Jimmy Kimmel on their ABC affiliates. It should be noted that they are currently trying to get FCC approval for a merger. And it was after that Nexstar announcement that then ABC Disney came out and said that they would be pulling Kimmel off the air, guys.
Liz, let's talk a little bit about how the FCC works. So commissioners are appointed by presidents to 5-year terms. And you, though, actually spoke with a lone Democrat that's on the FCC panel about this move. What did she have to say?
Yeah, so what we're seeing, obviously, reaction on both sides of the aisle here. You have some conservatives praising this. You also have many Democrats, top Democrats, immediately coming out and calling this censorship. We're also having free speech advocates raise concern about this move by Disney. And one of the people who's doing that is, as you mentioned, this lone Democrat on the FCC commission. She's one of the commissioners, and her name's Anna Gomez. And she said that she feels like this is really the weaponization of the FCC, the political weaponization. Take a listen.
My concern here is that what the FCC is demanding is censorship of any party that dares to speak against this administration. it's really a very dangerous precedent. We must stand firm against every attempt to silence dissent, to punish satire or a government critic.
And just to add to that, there are also some free speech advocates that we've talked to who have said that they feel it was the Republicans for so many years that had been feeling like they were being censored, calling for free speech, and they feel like now this is somewhat of the reverse of that so-called cancel culture, guys.
We're also starting to see some comedians come out in support of Jimmy Kimmel right now. One man who is happy about this decision by ABC is President Trump. Tell us how he's reacting to all this.
Yeah, President Trump immediately went on Truth Social and praised this decision. He made a statement basically saying the ratings challenge Jimmy Kimmel Show is canceled. Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible. That leaves Jimmy and Sept, two total losers on fake news, NBC, our network. Their ratings are also horrible. Then he goes on to encourage NBC to cancel those shows as well. And it should be noted that he references Colbert. And this is just a pretty stunning development that 2 months ago, CBS announced that Stephen Colbert's show would be canceled. Colbert, also a very well-known Trump critic, just like Jimmy Kimmel. And now this show suspended. But again, we don't know how long it will be off the air. We're outside the theater where Kimmel tapes, and some of his supporters say they plan to be out here protesting in support of him later today, guys.
All right, Liz Kreutz. Liz, thank you so much.
Well, FBI Director Kash Patel faced another day on the hot seat on Capitol Hill yesterday.
Patel testified before the House Judiciary Committee on several issues, including the killing of Charlie Kirk and the Jeffrey Epstein files.
We have NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie Sirkin joining us now. Julie, good morning. So what more do we hear from Kash Patel? Specifically, let's start on the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. Well, Kash Patel had back-to-back hearings on Capitol Hill, first before the Senate, later before the House. And it was interesting because he began in both of those hearings in his opening statements defending his role, the role that he played as the head of the agency that, of course, looked into what happened with Charlie Kirk, looked into the shooter that opened fire that day. He forcefully defended the work that he did as the head of that agency, the work that his employees did. He said morale has never been higher. And why this is an issue? Well, remember, the night that Kirk was killed, a couple of hours later, Kash Patel posted on X from the official FBI account saying, quote, that a subject was in custody. Well, 90 minutes later, he said that person has been released. When questioned by lawmakers about that move, he said he could have been more careful in, quote, the heat of the moment. But again, totally defending his work that day. And by the way, the backlash was not only coming from Democrats, but also from some conservatives. We saw headlines on Fox News, for example, saying knives out for Kash Patel. Certainly, there were some grumblings among conservatives just because of the support they had for Charlie Kirk.
We also saw Patel clash with lawmakers on the Epstein files. Tell us what we saw there.
Yeah, this was really back and forth. First in the Senate, he kind of raised eyebrows when he said essentially that Epstein did not traffic any women or young girls to anyone other than himself. That was kind of new information and raised eyebrows, I think, on both sides of the aisle. But yesterday when he sat before the House committee, certainly Republicans in that chamber have been far more interested, at least publicly, to get to the bottom of this, to pressure the administration to release all of the Epstein files. And Kash Patel defended what they're doing on that. Take a listen.
You're not keeping your word. You said that you would release all of the materials under your direct control.
Has anyone released more information on Epstein than I have? Has anyone?
Much
did
more.
Did Comey? Did Ray?
Much more. Excuse me. Much more has come out in the days since the American people in Congress have been demanding it. But it's coming out in dribs and drabs. Why don't you just release the entire file as you promised to do?
I literally just told you, there are multiple federal court orders. I'm not going to break the law to satisfy your curiosity. You didn't join us when we filed court to release the court orders. You could have. You have lawyers. You could have shown up. You didn't do that.
Now, obviously, the Republican-led House is pursuing an effort to try and get all of these files. There was one other interesting exchange, I thought, between Kash Patel and Democrat Eric Swalwell, where Swalwell essentially tried to get Patel to admit that he potentially told AG Pam Bondi, Patel's boss, that Donald Trump was in the Epstein files. Patel refusing to answer that question.
Julie, also while we have you, you've got some exclusive reporting that we want to get on the air, important for American families. This is a bipartisan Senate group releasing a bill aimed at increasing affordable child care. Tell us what you know.
Yeah, guys, this is really important because 40% of American families just can't find affordable, quality childcare. It's really a tension point for parents that want to go back to work and can't afford sending their kids to daycare or can't afford finding the quality daycare that they trust for their children. So a bipartisan group of senators this time, led by Deb Fischer, Kirsten Gillibrand, Susan Collins, who's a top appropriator, and Senator John Hickenlooper of Colorado, really totally different parts of the country, came together to try and modernize a child block grant that hasn't been touched in over a decade. It would give parents more flexibility, more resources, and help providers, a critical shortage of which across the nation, get more care and get reimbursed for it, too.
All right, Julie Sirkin, thanks for your reporting here.
A Pennsylvania community is in shock after a deadly shootout at a rural farm. A gunman opened fire on law enforcement officers who were attempting to serve an arrest warrant. Now, 2 police officers are in the hospital. 3 others were killed. NBC News correspondent Aaron McLaughlin has the latest from York.
Hey there, the 2 surviving officers are being treated at this hospital. Authorities say they are in critical but stable condition. 3 others were killed when a gunman opened fire as police tried to serve a domestic-related warrant. Overnight, an emotional procession honored the fallen. Residents lined the streets with American flags. The gunman was killed in the exchange of fire. For hours, nearby schools and homes were told to shelter in place as witnesses described hearing dozens of shots. First responders, including a medical helicopter, rushed to the scene. This tragedy comes just months after another deadly shooting in the same county that left Officer Andrew Duarte dead. Meanwhile, this morning, the state's governor, Josh Shapiro, is calling for change. Back to you.
Aaron, thank you.
Well, in economic news, the Federal Reserve cut their benchmark interest rate by 1/4 point as expected. The first rate cut this year comes amid sagging jobs numbers and inflation worries. NBC News senior business correspondent Christine Romans has the details for us.
The country's central bank making a long-awaited pivot.
With downside risks to employment having increased, the balance of risks has shifted.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell announcing a 1/4 point rate cut, the first in 9 months, and putting the focus squarely on the softening U.S. labor market. Powell seemingly less concerned than before about the risk of a return to runaway inflation, even though price increases have accelerated over the past 4 months. Powell acknowledging challenges for the overall economy.
There are no risk-free paths now.
Markets closing mixed for the day as the Fed indicated 2 more cuts are likely to come this year, impacting everything from mortgage rates and auto loans to credit card interest.
In my view, Chair Powell indicated that he's caught between a rock and a hard place.
The 12 voting members for the Fed today, as much a story as the way they voted. Among them, Lisa Cook, who President Trump attempted to fire last month. An appeals court blocked the move, allowing her to remain. The sole dissenting vote today, Stephen Myron, who wanted a bigger cut and is one of President Trump's top economic advisors, now filling a short-term opening at the Fed. His appointment part of growing concerns over the influence of politics on the central bank, something Powell dismissed.
We're strongly committed to maintaining our independence, and beyond that, I really don't have anything to share.
Our thanks to Christine for that report. Well, in anticipation of that rate cut, mortgage rates had already dropped to their lowest level in 3 years, with demand also for refinancing spiking. That could continue if the Fed cuts interest rates further, giving people cheaper access to borrow that money.
Flood watches are in effect for parts of Southern California today. Let's get a check on your morning News Now weather.
We have Angie Lastman in studio with us. Hi, Angie. Good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning to you. More advice of taking your umbrella with you, but this time it's part of Southern California's morning routine, where you're going to want to have that extra umbrella and maybe some indoor plans for the next day or so as we deal with some of this kind of tropical moisture or remnants of what was Mario sliding into Southern California. No surprise that we've got flood watches from Fresno stretching down to the border. They include Los Angeles, and we'll at times be seeing some pretty impressive rainfall rates, up to an inch per hour. So no surprise that we're concerned about some flooding across this region in the next day or so. Here's how it times out through the day today. We'll see those heavy downpours stretched across parts of Southern California. And then looking ahead to tomorrow, some of that spreads into parts of New Mexico and Arizona and just generally into the Southwest. And it also lifts across parts of Central California. So then we'll still be looking at the potential for some impactful weather into the second half of the day tomorrow. tomorrow. Today, here's the area that you really want to watch, especially around those burn scar areas. That's where we're expecting the debris flows. So just a heads up, Fresno down again to the border, including Yuma, all included in that slight risk of flash flooding today. Switching gears, talking tropics, we've got Tropical Storm Gabrielle. 50-mile-per-hour winds, still 800 miles to the east of the northern Leeward Islands, but moving northwest now at 15 miles per hour. Here's what the track looks like. It does have some gradual strengthening over the next couple of days. I think by the time we get into the early part of our upcoming work week, we could see a Category 1 hurricane, but we'll be watching for the potential impacts for Bermuda. They look to be indirect, but as of right now, still something to watch for them. A fish storm between now and then, though.
Keep it out there.
That's what I say.
Exactly. Fish storm.
Yeah.
Thanks, Angie.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.